Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परमहंस अष्ट से जवान गई सी ऐसी भक्त स्वामी प्रपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परमहंस अष्ट से जवान गई सी भक्त सिद्धांत स्वामी गोसाई महाराज की अनंत कोट वैष्णव भक्तवृंद की नामाचार्य हृदय ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम रतन गोवर्धन की वृंदावन मथुराम की नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की गंगा मैया की अमना मैया की तुलसी देवी की भक्ति देवी की भगवत गीता यथारूप की निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we are reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter number 18, entitled The Perfection of Renunciation, and text 28. You repeat after me. Ayuktaḥ prakrtaḥ stabdhaḥ śaṭho naiṣkṛtiko śaṭho naiṣkṛtiko śaṭho naiṣkṛtiki alasaḥ कोलस है śaṭho naiṣkṛtiko alasaḥ viṣādī dīrgha-sūtrī viṣādī dīrgha-sūtrī kartā tāmasa ucyate ayuktaḥ prākṛtaḥ stabdhaḥ śaṭho naiṣkṛtiko alasaḥ viṣādī dīrgha-sūtrī kartā tāmasa ucyate ayuktaḥ prākṛtaḥ stabdhaḥ śaṭho naiṣkṛtiko alasaḥ viṣādī dīrgha-sūtrī kartā tāmasa ucyate. Now repeat. ayuktaḥ prākṛtaḥ stabdhaḥ śaṭho naiṣkṛtiko alasaḥ viṣādī dīrgha-sūtrī kartā tāmasa ucyate ayuktaḥ prākṛtaḥ stabdhaḥ śaṭho naiṣkṛtiko alasaḥ viṣādī dīrgha-sūtrī kartā tāmasa ucyate ayuktaḥ prākṛtaḥ stabdhaḥ śaṭho naiṣkṛtiko alasaḥ viṣādī dīrgha-sūtrī kartā tāmasa ucyate. Mataji's. ayuktaḥ prākṛtaḥ stabdhaḥ śaṭho naiṣkṛtiko alasaḥ viṣādī dīrgha-sūtrī kartā tāmasa ucyate. Now word-to-word meaning and translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Purport ki. Ayuktaḥ, not referring to the scriptural injunctions. ठीक है. prākṛtaḥ, materialistic. stabdhaḥ, obstinate. śaṭhaḥ, deceitful. naiṣkṛtiko expert in insulting others. अच्छा, alasaḥ, lazy. अच्छा, पहला वर्ड था नैष्कृतिक है, अलग सेपरेट वर्ड है. नैष्कृत, expert in insulting others. alasaḥ, lazy. viṣādī, morose. dīrgha-sūtrī, procrastinating. Cha, also. kartā, worker. Tamas, in the mode of ignorance. Ucyate is said to be. Translation: the worker who is always engaged in work against the injunctions of the scripture, who is materialistic, obstinate, cheating, an expert in insulting others, and who is lazy, always morose, and procrastinating, is said to be a worker in the mode of ignorance. Repeat after me once again. The worker who is always engaged in work against the injunctions of the scripture, who is materialistic, obstinate, cheating, an expert in insulting others, and who is lazy, always morose, and procrastinating, is said to be a worker in the mode of ignorance. Purport: in the scriptural injunctions, we find what sort of work should be performed and what sort of work should not be performed. Those who do not care for those injunctions engage in work not to be done, and such persons are generally materialistic. They work according to the modes of nature, not according to the injunctions of the scripture. Such workers are not very gentle, and generally they are always cunning and expert in insulting others. They are very lazy. Even though they have some duty, they do not do it properly, and they put it aside to be done later on. Therefore, they appear to be morose. They procrastinate. They procrastinate. Anything which can be done in an hour, they drag on for years together. Such workers are situated in the mode of ignorance. Om Ajnantrimanandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chachurmilitam Aina Tasmai Sri Gurve Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manuvishtam Sthapitam Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Vayam Dadati Subdantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sivitkambalam Sri Guru Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagal Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Savdetam Savdutam Parjan Saitam Krishna Chaitan Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagan Lalta Vishaka Vintancha He Krishna Karna Sindhu Dīnabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vindavane Sri Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranam Priye Vancha Kalpaturvas Kripa Sindhavacha Patitanam Pavani Vaishnav Dhanava Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So this text is particularly dealing with the mode of darkness. So the whole world actually is under the spell of the mode of darkness. And because of this mode of because of these modes actually of material nature, we are suffering. We are repeatedly in the cycle of birth and death. And because of this actually, so we are under distress actually. So what we have to do? We have to cross over this modes of material nature, ocean of material natures. Otherwise, we will have to remain in this material world repeatedly, birth after birth actually. This is very important actually to know what are the modes actually. Without knowing the modes actually, without the knowledge of modes of material nature, how we can cross over these modes of material nature? We cannot give up or cross over this ocean of modes of material nature. So we have the knowledge, we must have the knowledge. The whole world is under the spell of three modes of material nature. The knowledge of modes of material nature is important and essential for every living entities. Because of modes of material nature, the living entity is conditioned here. He is forced to live here in this material world, forced. In the initial stage, the living entity is pure. That living entity has nothing to do with this modes of material nature and is affected by unaffected modes of material nature. But because of contact with material nature, it is conditioned. It is polluted actually. So we have to remove the pollution actually. The living entity which has been polluted because of modes of material nature, this we have to do. Or because of modes of material nature, the living entity has forgotten the Lord, who is the creator of these modes of material nature. This forgetfulness is the reason of his conditioned in this material world. We are bound to live here in this material world. The modes of material nature, these are working on the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. We have forgotten of our constitutional identity. What is our constitutional identity? The constitutional identity is that actually we are the servant and Lord Krishna is our master actually. Jivar Swarup hai Krishna Nityadas. So we are the eternal servant of the Lord Krishna. Since we have forgotten this relationship between the Lord and these living entities, that's we are here conditioned actually. So we have to refresh our this relationship. Whatever relationship. Servant means actually how we can refresh. We have to work according to the instructions of Lord Krishna. We have to abide by the scriptures actually. If we do not follow the scriptures, then what will become? We will be bound by the modes of material nature actually. And we will be forced to live in this material world. That's why we are under the spell of repeated cycle of birth and death because of violation of injunctions and consequently forgetfulness of Lord Krishna actually. This is very important actually. The reason is that. In chapter 7, text 12, ye chaiva sattvika bhava rajasastamas chaye mutta evati tan vidhi natu aham teshu te mai. All stages of being, be they be goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. This Lord says. Lord Krishna said this. I am in one sense everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of material nature. We have to trust this statement. Every statement of the Lord Krishna or instructions are to be trusted and followed. Then and only then we can cross over this ocean of material world actually. All material activities in the world are being conducted under these three modes of material nature. Although these material modes of nature are emanated from Supreme Lord Krishna, he is not subjected to them. For instance, under the state laws, one may be punished, but the king, the lawmaker, is not subject to the law. Similarly, all the modes of material nature, goodness, passion, ignorance, are emanated from the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, but Krishna is not subject to material nature. Therefore, he is known as Nirgun. He is unaffected. That is one of the special characteristics of Bhagavan. This is the characteristic. Okay, he is Nirgun. Tirvigunmai bhave evi sarvam idam jagat mohitam navijanati mam ebhya param abhyam. Deluded by the three modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me. Who am I? Above the modes of material nature and inexhaustible. This is the thing actually. Those who are under the influence of the modes of material nature, they do not know regarding the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Who is Lord Krishna actually? One who comes to know who is Lord Krishna, then and only then he will make a relationship with Lord Krishna. And this is must actually. As soon as one comes to the knowledge that the Krishna is the Supreme Lord, above all, nobody in this world is above him or equal to him. Even the demigods, Shiva and Brahma, all are created of him actually. And the one engages in his devotional service. This is true fact actually. And second thing is that actually, as soon as one has trust and faith in Lord Krishna, he starts crossing over the modes of material nature. Those who are influenced or bewildered by these three modes of nature cannot understand that translated nature to this material nature is Supreme Lord Krishna. In this material world, everyone is under the influence of these three guns and is thus bewildered. If one become engaged, one become entangled with the modes of material nature, then we forget the Supreme Personal God, who is behind all these modes. So Lord Krishna says that man deluded by these three modes of material nature cannot understand that behind the background is the Supreme Personality of God. There are many different kinds of living entities, human beings, demigods, animals, etc. And each and every one of them is under the influence of material nature. Everybody. It doesn't mean that the demigods are not under the influence of material nature. They are also under the influence of material nature. And all of them have forgotten the transcendental nature of personality of Godhead. Krishna consciousness is the transcendental to all these three modes of material nature. If one develops the transcendental consciousness of Lord Krishna, he can cross over the modes of material nature. And those who are truly established in Krishna consciousness are actually liberated actually. Devi aisa gunmayi mama maya durutya mame me prapadante maya me tam tarantite. The divine energy of mind, consisting of three modes of material nature, is very difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Surrender means those who have engaged in the devotion service for Lord Krishna. Those who follows the association of devotees. Those who read Bhagavad Gita. Those who read Bhagavatam or they attend classes. Those who are associated in the Kirtan of Lord Krishna. And those who make dozen of decorated deities every day. They can cross over this actually. Supreme Personality Godhead has innumerable energies, and all these energies are divine. Although living entities are the parts and part of his energies and therefore divine. But due to the contact with material nature, the original superior power is covered. Thus, covered by the material energy, one cannot possibly overcome the influence of modes of material nature. The living entities belong to the eternal superior nature of the Lord, but due to contamination by the inferior energy matter, the illusion is also eternal. The conditioned soul is therefore called Nityabadh, or eternally conditioned. His release from the clutches of material nature is very difficult. Then, how to get out of the clutches of these modes of material nature? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has shown us the path how to cross over these modes of material nature or liberate from this physical world of birth and death just by chanting the holy name Lord God. This holy name of Lord is very powerful. As soon as one starts chanting of holy name of Lord Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. His heart is cleansed of all the dirt actually, which is accumulated for many births actually. When the dirt lying in his heart is cleansed up slowly, his nature is attracted towards the Supreme Personality God. He is become curious to know about the Krishna and how his curiosity can be met. That is by the association of devotees attending Bhagavad Gita class and attending Srimad Bhagavatam class. This actually. So they are the three modes actually. The modes of goodness being purer than others is illuminating and it frees one from the sinful reactions. Those situated in this mode are conditioned by sense of happiness and knowledge and one becomes wiser. The effect of developing the modes of goodness in this material world is that one becomes wiser than those otherwise conditioned. A man in the mode of goodness is not so much affected by the material miseries and he has a sense of advancement in material knowledge. So who are these persons actually in the modes? These are Brahmins who is supposed to be situated in the mode of goodness. This sense of happiness is due to the understanding that in the modes of goodness, one is more or less free from sinful reactions. Actually, in Vedic literature, it is said that the mode of goodness means greater knowledge and a greater sense of happiness. But difficulty here is that when a living entity is situated in these modes of goodness, he becomes conditioned to feel that he is advanced in knowledge and is better than others. In this way, he becomes conditioned. Mode of passion is born of unlimited desires and longings. And because of this, the embodied living entities is bound to material fruitive activities. Modes of passion is characterized by the attraction between man and woman. Woman has attraction for man and man has attraction for woman. This is called mode of passion. And when the mode of passion is increased, one develops the hankering for material enjoyment. He wants to enjoy sense gratification. For sense gratification, a man in mode of passion wants some honor in society or in the nation. And he wants to have a happy family with nice children, wife, house. And these are the product of the mode of passion. As long as one is hankering after these things, he has to work very hard. Therefore, it is clearly stated here that he becomes associated with the fruits of the activities and thus becomes bound by such activities. In order to please his wife, children and society, he has to keep up his prestige and one has to work hard. Therefore, the whole world is more or less in the mode of passion. Modern civilization is considered to be advanced in the standards of modes of passion. Mode of darkness. This current text is regarding the mode of darkness. Mode of darkness, born of ignorance, is the delusion of all embodied living entities. The result in this mode is madness, indolence, and sleep. which binds the conditioned soul. Mode of ignorance is just the opposite of the mode of goodness. In the mode of goodness, by development of knowledge, one can understand what is what, but in the mode of ignorance, it is just the opposite. The person who is under the influence of mode of ignorance, he cannot understand what is right and what is wrong. And one who cannot understand what is right and what is wrong actually, then he is entangled in this material world. And he becomes mad. And a madman cannot understand what is what. Instead of making advancement, one becomes degraded. Everyone can see, for example, everyone can see that his grandfather has died and he will also die. The man is mortal. The children that conceives will also be die. Everybody will die. So the death is certain, sure. Still people are madly accumulating money and working very hard all day and night. Not caring for the eternal spirit. This is the madness. In their madness, they are very reluctant to make advancement in spiritual understanding. Such people are very lazy. When they are invited to associate for the spiritual understanding, they are not much interested. Under the influence of this mode of ignorance, people are characterized more sleep than what is required. 6 hours sleep is sufficient. But a man in the mode of ignorance sleeps at least 10 to 12 hours a day. Such a man appears to be always dejected and is addicted to intoxicants and sleeping. These are the symptoms of a person conditioned by the mode of ignorance. From the mode of ignorance develops foolishness, madness, illusion. When one engages in the mode of ignorance, not only is he mentally unhappy, but his occupation and professions are also very troublesome. He devises so many plans, schemes to acquire enough money to maintain his status quo. This is also miserable. In the mode of ignorance, people become mad. Being distressed by their circumstances, they make self-intoxications. And thus, they go down further into the ignorance. Their future in life is very dark. Those situated in the mode of goodness gradually go upward to the higher planets. Those in the mode of passion live on this earthly planet, and those in the mode of ignorance go down to the hellish world. There is an upper planetary system consisting of heavenly planets where everyone is highly elevated. According to the degree of development of the modes of goodness, the living entity can be transferred to various planets in the system. The higher planets is Satyalok or Brahmalok, where the prime persons of this universe, Lord Brahma, resides. We have seen already that we can hardly calculate the wondrous condition of the life in Brahmaloka. But the highest condition of life, the mode of goodness, can bring us to this. Mode of passion is mixed. It is the middle between the modes of goodness and ignorance. The lowest qualities of mode of ignorance is described here as abominable. The result of developing ignorance is very, very risky. It is the lowest quality in the material nature. Yes. The people who are under modes of material nature, their future is very dark. On giving up the human body, they go down to the hellish planet or take their birth among 8 million species of life, that is birds, beasts, reptiles, etc. There is an opportunity for a man in modes of ignorance and passion to be elevated to the mode of goodness, and that system is called Krishna consciousness. But one who does not take advantage of this opportunity will certainly continue in their lower modes of material nature. Now, certain words they are appearing in this text actually. These are the obstinate, hati. Hindi bolte hai hati. Obstinate. That meaning is refusing to change opinion, way of behavior. When other people try to persuade to change action, refuse to apologize on fault, unreasonably determined, especially to act in a particular way and not change at all, despite everyone else says. Ravan, who stole or took Sita forcibly in the absence of his friend Sri Ram, when they were living in the forest for 14 years, the Ravan approached the Sita as beggar, sannyasi. Ravan approached the Sita as a beggar, sannyasi. He asked alms from the Sita personally. The Sita broke on the line of protection. Because Lakshman, when he went to help his brother Ram in the forest actually, so he just actually made a line actually, circle line, protection. He asked from the Sita personally. The Sita broke on the line of protection as Lakshman Rekha. She was cheated and forcibly took away. Ravan was advised by the Hanuman in Sri Lanka to return Sri Mata Sita to his husband Sri Ram with honor. He was punished to put on fire in his tail. This Hanumanji, Hanuman, what was it? Fire was put on in his tail actually. That resulted in burning of Sri Lanka. Vibhishan also advised to return Sita to Sri Ram with honor. And what did Raman do? The Ravan struck with his leg to the Vibhishan, and he was expelled from the Sri Lanka. Mandodari, his wife, also advised to return Sita. She even told that the Sita is inauspicious for Lanka actually. His grandfather Malyavan also advised. He was asked to shut his mouth actually. This is the situation of the obstinate person actually. Because they are under the spell of modes of ignorance actually, they do not know what is right and what is wrong. That's why they are obstinate actually. Pandavas, They lost Indraprastha to the Duryodhana, exiled for 14 years. When they came back after completion of 14 years in exile, they asked their Indraprastha from Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra refused to return back the Indraprastha. Mahabharata war was inflicted upon them between Kauravas and Pandava because of obstinate behavior of Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana. They were advised by the Bhishma Pitama, Vidur, Lord Krishna to return the Indraprastha. The war was fought in which all the warriors except the Pandava were killed. This was the result of the cheating and expert in insulting others. There is another quality. Duryodhana invited Pandavas to play dice game in Hastinapur. Pandavas were cheated by Shukuni and defeated. Yudhishthira lost his Indraprastha along with all the brothers and Draupadi. Draupadi dragged to the conference hall where the dice was split. He was robbed of the saris actually, which was saved by the mercy of Lord Krishna. Lazy persons. Such persons make delay in completion of the work. They move very slow. They does not want to work properly. They are on the modes of ignorance. But you see, those who are on the modes of goodness, or those who are the devotees of Lord Krishna, what they think? Whatever you want to do the things tomorrow, you do just today. And whatever you want to do the things today, you do just now. Don't leave pending things actually, pending work actually. चला गया लोग इंटरनेट आपका है क्या आपका इंटरनेट है हरी बोल मोबाइल में किसी के में है Because I left my mobile at my home actually, that's why it is not available. No, still 5 minutes are left actually. If there is possible actually, then we let's say. Okay, now it's all right. Hare Krishna.